So I'm going to be showing you today. Let's just get straight into the video. If you enjoy it, be sure to drop a like and hit a subscribe. But I'm sure if you're watching this video, you got a leak. There's a leak in right here at this seal, and it's something I should have done. If you watched my video of me fixing these bizzles by plastic welding, that's in the description below. I could catch my finger and lift that silicone. Now I've seen this tank hold water. It's been outside for a while, and it did have water in it when I got it, but it being on the ground, you really couldn't tell if it's going to be wet or not. So I guess it needs resealed. Simple to do. I'm going to show you how to do it this video. I told you I'm going to get straight to the point, so let's get started. Empty your water out of your tank, because that's the first thing you need to do. Let's get started. The first thing you want to do, if you got a baffle, some saltwater tanks do. Some people use these. I use these kind of like a corner mat to hide my heater, and it keeps my filtration and everything hidden. You can see that here, this corner right here. Yep, basically that's what this is, just for 55. I gotta cut it loose. Easy to do. Just take your knife or razor blade and cut around the seams till it comes loose. This silicone was just applied about a week ago, and you can see it's pretty stout. This is why new silicone always does better, because it's tough when it's good. So I'm going to go ahead and use both hands to cut this out, and then we will start removing the old silicone. You can see the difference in strength. To get it off the side of your grass, if you got one of these baffles, if you don't, this don't apply to you, but just take your razor blade or scraper and go down just like so, and that will pretty well just come off the grass. And you keep scraping until all the residue is gone. New silicone is very hard to get off, but if you're dealing with an older tank, it won't be near as hard. So let's go ahead and I'll show you the leak we had here. I just pretty well just touched it, and it's bad. You can take your finger and you can see it's silicone right here. Ain't gonna hold nothing. That should have been resealed. That's my problem. I should have done it. This tank is a what model is this? I think like a 2000 and some, maybe a 02 or 03. It's been outside. It's my own fault. I knew better. But let's go ahead and clean the seams. Okay, let's try to get to the seam and show you what you need to do. Take your scraper or your knife, go straight down. As you can look at that, that just tails right off. You want to go down just like so, both sides, and you don't want to get into the inner structure because you don't want to go too deep. So you can just cut it down just like so and work your way down, taking your time. And sometimes you can get it and just pull it. If it's bad, it will come off because it lost its adhesion. But this is the inner seam. This is your structure seam. You don't want to get your razor blade or knife deep into that seam. You just want to remove the pretty well the waterproof seam, the one that counts. So let's go ahead and go on down just like so, and you're going to have to do that for the whole tank. Okay guys, you can use a knife too, like I showed you at the beginning, but this is just a scraper from those. You can get it right like so and put it right up against this. If you can see, you can pretty well just scrape this off just like so. And when the silicone's bad, it comes off quite easy, as you can see. And you can do it the same way right up here. So I just wanted to show you that as an extra tip. And I got more detailed videos on resealing tanks. I got one on a salt water and one on a 29. That will be in the description too below. But I'm trying to do this, and it's hard to do one-handed. And maybe next one I do, I set up a tripod and all that good stuff. But this gives you an idea. So go ahead and get that, then we'll go to the next step. So this is what we're left with. This is the old silicone mixed with some of the new. I took that scraper. It makes it a lot easy. And the knife helps too to get in the corners and stuff. You just don't want to get into your seam, your structure seam. You just want to lay a fresh seam down on the inside. Now this actual tank on the bottom here was resealed. It's in the video in the description below. I think it's a 1993 model tank. Very good tank, as you can see, holds water perfect. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this out, which is the most painful part of this, and then I'll show you what's next. So I got this pretty well clean. As you can see, there's no residue. There's still a little bit here now, but I'm going to dust it out as I use some nail polish remover. This is good to get the old residue where the old silicone was applied off, because the new silicone may have trouble bonding to that. So you want to make sure you use some nail polish remover or rubbing alcohol to clean all these seams up very good. And make sure the tank is completely dry, especially where your new silicone will be going. So go ahead, clean that up, and then we go to the next step. So to clean it out, you want to go inside and dust. See, this is the leftover silicone. This is after I went through, cleaned all the seams with the fingernail polish remover. Made sure all the residue is gone so we can have proper adhesion to a silicone. You can take a vacuum cleaner in there too, if you want to, or some compressed air and blow it out. I prefer just to dust it out of the way. I used the GE silicone one. This is what I always use. They did change the label. It's still made the same, but the label is different. It's still 100% silicone. Now, some people worry that it does say mold resistant somewhere on it. Let's see what that is. Now, it's not. It's pretty well any 100% silicone is mold resistant. It said it on the back before. I just moved it to the front of the label. It's safe to use. I always use it on decorations and tanks on all my videos if you watch them. So go ahead and cut your nozzle, load it into your caulking gun, and I'll show you what to do next. So I'm going to demonstrate this since I got one hand. You want to cut a 45 angle at this, about right in here. Put it right in travel here. Then all the way up your sides. Get under all the way up in here good. And do that with every one of them. And then come back with your finger and smooth it out. Now you can tape this off for a cleaner look, but I did so many of them, it don't bother me. So I'll show you what it looks like without tape. But you can use tape if you want to. So if you don't have the side baffle, this is pretty much where it ends. I like to wait till the silicone dries for a couple hours and then install the side baffles. You can do it beforehand if you want to, but the baffles I use on these freshwater, you know, I wait and always install them after. So this is it without the tape. As you can see, it's pretty clean, pretty straight forward. See, the sides just look like a normal tank would. Looks pretty good. So I will show you this tank fully set up with water in it, as I do all my videos pretty much that I Reseal Aquarium on. So stay tuned, and hope you enjoy. I will show the part coming up next to where I install my homemade baffles. As I said before, you like the idea of those, check it out in the description. I got how I make those. Went ahead and put the baffle in it. Said I'll show you guys how I put these in. I basically just trim this to fit both sides. I got a video on making these. It goes into tons of detail. And then I silicone these. Now I used a little bit too much silicone on this because my tube got short and it was hard to get in, so I gotta give this extra time to dry. And it's sturdy, as you can see. It won't go nowhere. So the tank we sealed, I give it 48 hours to fully dry. I usually wait 24, 28, sometimes 30 some hours. Usually what I do, make sure it's fully dried, but I had stuff to do and it's got extra dry time, so no biggie. What I do is I fill them up in sections, and I usually just put a little Sharpie mark on each of the water lines, and I add probably this much, and then I fill it halfway up, and then I fill it on up to the top, and I give it a couple hours, sometimes before I add more water. And I usually let it sit with water for a day or two and make sure it ain't gonna get no leaks. But usually if you're good within the first couple hours, you can go ahead and put your substrate in. I just like to take the extra time and wait, because I don't want to have to tear down this whack and get this tank back down and get the substrate out of it. It's just a mess, you know, and best to wait. So we'll tune back in once I get this completely filled up. I might add my substrate when you see it again. So stay tuned. So that's start to finish on the 55-gallon Reseal. It turned out great. The filter is pretty well got the water almost cleaned out. It's doing a great job. You can see it's already changing color from the substrate. By in the morning, this is probably be completely clean and not cloudy no more. And I'll put my filtration in it, pre-cycled media, and be able to stock this. If you want to see how I make this, let me know in the comment section. I'll be uploading a video soon, getting more detailed versions of it. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. So drop me a like if you found this video helpful. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and show your support for my channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.